Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
How was Floyd when they had that fight though?
Floyd was 36.
Oh, he was 36.
He was 36
Okay.
when he fought Canelo.
Because Bud, I believe, is 37 for like another week or so.
Yeah.
It's wild because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff.
Absolutely shocking news. Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford are set to face each other in the ring. Boxing experts are divided, and some of their opinions are truly surprising. Make sure to click like and subscribe before we dive in. What follows could completely change how you view the sport. Legends, trainers, and athletes are all weighing in with bold statements. Stephen A. Smith is analyzing every move, while Oscar de la Hoya is sharing insights from the promoter's perspective. Meanwhile, Mayweather is dealing with a $1 million legal case that has fans talking. This isn't just a sports debate anymore. Over the past few years, this matchup has become one of the most sensational and talked about events in boxing. Let's break it all down.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course he is.
Started with trainer Bruno McIntyre, who has never held back his opinions. Before speaking to Fight Hub TV, he made sure his point was clear, wearing a bright hat that said GOAT. He didn't hesitate when asked if Crawford had already surpassed Floyd Mayweather. His answer was simple: he's better than Floyd. No contest. He highlighted Crawford's success across 3 weight classes, his ability to adjust strategy mid-fight, and the strong teamwork behind him. McIntyre emphasized that this wasn't just about numbers or titles. It was about beating top opponents at their best. He suggested that Mayweather's success was achieved differently, and one of his comments quickly sparked a major reaction online.
If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Fans had discussed the similarities for years, but hearing it from Crawford's closest friend gave it a new perspective. When asked about it, Crawford's response surprised everyone for a different reason. After defeating Canelo Alvarez by majority decision, a fight many called the best of his career, Crawford had the chance to claim the GOAT title, yet instead of boasting, he remained humble. He simply said, "Floyd was the best of his time, and I am the best of my time. There's no need to compare."
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah. We ain't going out that much.
Now,
surface, it came across as a show of respect, a polite way to avoid the debate. But fans and journalists saw it as adding fuel to the fire. Why? Because the history couldn't be ignored. In 2013, Floyd faced a young, rising Canelo and defeated him using his signature defensive skill. Canelo, now recognized as the face of modern boxing, had matured and faced tough challenges. Yet Crawford defeated him. That contrast divided fans and sparked intense discussion.
Had a great 5th round, and Terence Crawford knew he had to make a stand in this 6th round. That shot got Canelo's attention as Crawford's back was against the ropes. It's a good shot from Crawford, and that shot and that exchange allowed him to box.
Is Crawford downplaying his own abilities out of respect for Floyd? Or was he subtly signaling that his victory over Canelo was on a completely different level? That subtle distinction sparked a wave of heated reactions from media members who felt compelled to weigh in.
What did you think about what he had to say about you when he said you're way better than Floyd Money Mayweather? I know you heard that he said that. What thoughts came to your mind when you heard that Canelo Alvarez said that about you?
Hey, that's a big compliment. He's been in the ring with both of us, so he would know, from.
Here comes Stephen A. Smith, the outspoken sports analyst who never misses a chance to stir debate in the sports world. He discussed the fight on ESPN, and his comments quickly went viral. He emphasized that Crawford's win over Canelo was about more than just talent. It showed mental toughness. Crawford didn't simply win in the ring. He stayed composed under pressure, traded punches, and emerged stronger. Stephen A. highlighted this unique combination of skill and determination, something few athletes in history have achieved. Then he pointed out the contrast, noting that Mayweather is a defensive genius, extremely difficult to hit, making opponents look almost foolish around him.
I'm not going for that. I'm not feeling that at all. It wasn't like that at all, okay? I had the fight 5-4 in favor of Terence Crawford after 9 rounds. It could have gone either way. And then he basically put on a boxing clinic over the last 3 rounds of the fight.
For Stephen A. Smith, this fight highlighted what it means to be tough, courageous, and offensively strong. Mayweather, on the other hand, exemplifies defense and focus, showing it in ways that are both technical and emotional. Fans often pick sides based on their personal beliefs rather than records. Do you admire the fighter who risks everything in the ring, or the strategist who builds a legacy by making sure opponents rarely land a clean shot?
The thing about Crawford that people have to understand, it's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch.
Boxing legends and current fighters couldn't stop discussing the video after it went viral. The next wave of reactions came from people within the sport, and they didn't hold back in sharing their opinions.
To the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, that he's the best in that game. He's the best in, making money and making all the, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight,
he changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had to break that, right? With
Ryan Garcia, known for speaking his mind, didn't hold back and went straight at Mayweather. He said Floyd had changed boxing for the worse because Money Mayweather's carefully picked fights removed the sports spirit of taking risks. Garcia argued that Crawford is completely different, fearless, dangerous, and willing to face any challenge head-on.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
Mayweather mostly weighed in mostly. An experienced boxer who had faced Floyd before, recognized that Crawford could be the most complete fighter overall thanks to his size, reach, and versatility in the ring. His perspective carried extra weight because it came from someone who had actually fought Mayweather.
It was outstanding.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I already knew it was going to happen, but I thought he was going to stop him in the 8th or 10th round. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
What was that?
That training.
The focus then shifted to Crawford's father, who said his son can raise the stakes whenever the moment demands. It wasn't just about movement. He believed Floyd couldn't think like Crawford. These voices didn't just add to the debate. They intensified it. The discussion was no longer just between fans, trainers, athletes, and well-known figures began questioning Mayweather's place in boxing history just as tensions were peaking. Promoters and competitors got involved. And that's when things really exploded.
Speaking of poor promotion, Dana White didn't have his best week. His t-shirt shrank smaller every minute, especially when he was questioned about his attempt to amend the Muhammad Ali Act.
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
So you're saying this reporter is an asshole because he's asking you a legitimate question? Fuck that dude.
Thought the debate couldn't get any louder. But Oscar de la Hoya stepped in and turned it up even more. The Golden Boy has never hesitated to speak his mind, even about former rivals this time. His comments sparked another clash in the boxing world during a fiery interview. De la Hoya brought up his old feud with UFC boss Dana White. Mocking White's failed attempt at boxing promotion, he called it a circus and said Dana had no business running a sport he barely understood.
Because the Muhammad Ali Act protects fighters, and TKO needs it to change so they can fuck fighters over. Sorry, Uncle Fester, you can't muzzle the boxing media like you do in the UFC.
That's right.
And after this debacle, he decided to skip the undercard and shows up in the beginning of the main event, where he's just watching the UFC on his phone the entire time.
That was classic De La Hoya, blunt, sharp, and full of a promoter's edge, but he didn't stop there. His main target was once again Canelo Alvarez. De La Hoya had guided Canelo early in his career before they parted ways. And he carefully examined his record. He claimed that many of Canelo's fights were padded. Matchups that looked impressive on paper but didn't really mean much.
It makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so.
I tell you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that?
Oscar said that only 3 opponents in Canelo's career truly mattered. Floyd Mayweather, Dmitry Bivol, and Terence Crawford. De La Hoya connected all 3 names in a single line, turning a simple fight into a story of rivalries, family ties, and what if scenarios. Fans were left wondering whether Oscar was settling old scores or simply pointing out the truth about boxing's biggest stars. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather's name was making headlines for a completely different and unexpected reason. He's no stranger to big news, having built his reputation on money, luxury, and showing off his wealth.
But as you guys can see, look, want to make sure you close so you get people to break down a little. Don't follow Nick. Nick, get the people to break down.
One of 99 in the world, land delay. This has delivery miles on it.
That said, this wasn't about flashy displays. It was a legal matter. Reports say Mayweather is suing a Las Vegas dealership over Maybach Landaulet, one of the world's most expensive luxury cars. Costing $1.2 million, Floyd claims the dealer overcharged him by nearly $500,000 and sold him a car with hidden defects. The twist? Floyd had shared pictures of the car on Instagram before the lawsuit, showing it off as part of his massive collection. But those posts disappeared once the lawsuit became public. Fans started connecting the dots, wondering if Mayweather was making a clever business move. This case painted a surprising new image of Floyd, not just an undefeated boxing champion, but a wealthy fighter navigating disputes over luxury purchases.
Well, I look at it in a situation like this. I mean, they compared me to a Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, I'm talking about as far as skills. You know, as far as my skills, and I feel I'm on the level of a Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, and I feel that he's not on the level of Roberto Duran, so he's not gonna be able to handle it at all. You can mark my word for that.
Some saw it as just another odd moment in Mayweather's post-boxing life for his fans. It showed that even a perfect record couldn't shield him from real-world problems. Lawsuits and fights may be entertaining, but one question keeps coming back, and it matters deeply to modern boxing: Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford, who is truly better? On one side are Mayweather's old-school supporters, pointing to his flawless 50-0 record, unbeatable defense, and ability to turn every fight into a masterpiece for them. Flo's reputation for perfection in the ring is unmatched. Crawford's fans, however, highlight his dominance across multiple divisions, especially his decisive win over Prime Canelo. They see Crawford as more than a champion: fearless, relentless, and willing to take on any challenge. The analysts disagree, fighters disagree. Even promoters and marketers can't reach a consensus, but one thing is clear: the debate shows no signs of slowing down. It may be the hottest topic in boxing today, a battle over legacies that might never end unless the unthinkable actually happens. They both share the same ring, which is why insiders are calling this the most shocking feud in the sport this year.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Brian Bulmer McIntyre boldly claimed that Crawford is the greatest of all time, but Crawford remained calm and respectful. Stephen A. Smith broke the debate into two sides: offense versus defense and toughness versus perfection. Legends like Shane Mosley and Ryan Garcia fueled the arguments, and Oscar de la Hoya stirred things further by bringing Canelo into the mix alongside Floyd and Crawford. Meanwhile, Mayweather faced a lawsuit over luxury car, adding another bizarre twist to the story. Yet the biggest question remains: who would win if Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford ever fought? Could Crawford's relentless toughness finally break through Mayweather's defenses, or would Floyd's skill and strategy always prove dominant? Even boxing experts can't agree, so leave your vote in the comments. Maybe yours will help settle the debate. One thing is certain: this discussion isn't going away anytime soon. Make sure to subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on alerts so you never miss breaking news. Check out some of our other videos, and we'll see you next time.